Hello, friends. Tonight, we're going back to a quiet night in 1988. Not a loud night, not a weekend with friends, just a slow evening where the house feels a little bigger than usual. Danny is alone. The lights in the living room are dim, just a small lamp in the corner and the soft glow of a television resting on a wooden stand. The screen flickers gently, casting moving shadows across the carpet. In front of it, Danny sits cross-legged, holding the controller loosely in his hands. Inside the console, a cartridge is already running. Jackal. The sound is steady, familiar, almost rhythmic. A low engine hum loops in the background, again and again and again. On the screen, a small jeep moves forward, through a narrow path surrounded by green. Danny doesn't rush. He presses the buttons carefully, almost gently, as if the game might respond better that way. He already knows something important, something the game never explains. The machine gun is not the main weapon. It fires quickly, a soft, repeating stream, but it doesn't do much on its own. The real power comes from the grenades. Danny taps another button, and a grenade leaves the jeep, not fast, but in a smooth arc. Up, then forward, then down, landing exactly where he expects. He watches it closely every time. The timing, the distance, the way it curves. It's something you don't learn from instructions. You learn it by playing, again and again, over many quiet afternoons. The jeep keeps moving. Not too fast. Speed matters, but not in the way you'd expect. If you rush, you miss things. Buildings, hidden paths, places where prisoners are waiting. Danny slows down slightly, approaching a structure on the side of the path. He already knows what to do. One grenade, placed just right. He presses the button. The arc is perfect. The explosion is small, controlled, almost quiet in the room. The building disappears, and then they appear. Small figures running out from where the structure stood. Prisoners. They don't move randomly. They move with purpose, toward the jeep, as if they were waiting for it. Danny adjusts his position slightly, just enough to line up with them. He doesn't need to rush. They always come to him. One by one, they reach the jeep and disappear into it. There's no loud reward, no dramatic sound, but something changes. He can feel it. The grenades become just a little stronger, just enough to notice if you're paying attention. Danny leans back slightly, still holding the controller, his thumbs moving slower now. The room is very quiet. No voices, no footsteps, no one calling from another room. Just the game, and that steady engine sound, looping again and again and again. His eyes stay on the screen, but they don't move as quickly as before. The jeep continues forward, past trees, past open paths, past places he's already seen many times. Nothing feels new, but nothing feels boring either. There's a comfort in repetition, in knowing what's coming next, but still playing it anyway. Danny presses the button again. Another grenade rises, slow, predictable, almost effortless now. It lands exactly where it should. He doesn't react. He doesn't need to. His hands are starting to feel heavier. Not tired, just slower. The controller rests more in his palms now, less in his fingers. The glow from the screen softens slightly, spreading across the room, blurring the edges of things. The jeep keeps moving forward. The engine keeps humming, steady, unchanged, constant. Danny blinks once, slowly, then again. For a moment, he doesn't press anything, but the jeep doesn't seem to stop. It keeps moving, just a little, as if it remembers the direction. The sound feels farther away now, not quieter, just more distant, like it's coming from somewhere else. Danny's hands loosen slightly on the controller. His shoulders sink, just a little deeper. The room stays the same, but it feels softer, less defined. On the screen, the path continues forward, waiting, the same way it always does. And without realizing it, Danny lets his eyes rest, just for a moment longer than before. The engine hum continues, steady, unchanging, as the night settles in and the game keeps going. The engine sound continues, steady, unchanged, looping in the same quiet rhythm. Danny's eyes stay closed, but not fully. There's still a faint awareness of the room, of the screen, of the controller resting in his hands. But something is shifting. The sound doesn't feel like it's coming from the television anymore. It feels closer, not louder, just closer. The hum of the engine now carries a softness, a depth, like it's moving through air instead of speakers. The glow of the screen changes too. It spreads outward, losing its sharp edges, blending into something wider, something that no longer feels like a rectangle. The room fades gently. The walls, the lamp, the quiet corners, they don't disappear all at once. They simply stop being important. And in their place, there is space, open, warm, and moving slowly. Danny's hands no longer feel the controller. Instead, they rest on something different, something solid, something real, a steering wheel. He doesn't question it. It feels natural, like it's always been there. The engine hum is no longer distant. It surrounds him now, soft, steady, alive. Danny opens his eyes. The television is gone. The room is gone. He is sitting inside a Jeep, not looking at it, not controlling it from far away, inside it. The air is warm. The light is brighter than the room ever was, but still gentle. Ahead of him, the ground stretches forward, light-colored, soft, almost glowing under the sky, a shoreline. The Jeep moves forward slowly, its tires pressing into the sand without resistance. Danny's hands rest on the wheel. He doesn't grip it tightly. He doesn't need to. The movement feels smooth, effortless, as if the Jeep understands where it should go. There is no urgency, no pressure, just forward motion. He looks ahead, then slightly to the side. The world is quiet, not empty, but calm. And then, without surprise, he notices something else. He isn't alone. Next to him, Tommy is already there, sitting calmly, holding the mounted machine gun. His posture is steady, his movements small and precise. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The barrel of the gun moves slightly, tracking something in the distance, and behind them, Max, leaning forward just a little, watching everything with quiet focus. In his hands, grenades, not heavy, not rough, just resting there, as if they belong. Danny doesn't ask how they got there. It doesn't feel like they arrived. It feels like they've always been part of this moment. The Jeep continues forward, from the edge of the shoreline, toward the beginning of a path. Faint shapes appear ahead, small movements, enemy soldiers. They don't rush, they don't shout, they simply move into place, as if following a pattern that has always existed. Tommy adjusts slightly. The machine gun begins, soft, measured, steady, not loud, not overwhelming, just a consistent rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. The bullets travel forward, not fast, but certain. Max lifts his hand. For a moment, he watches. Then, he throws. The grenade rises gently, following a perfect arc. Up, forward, down, landing exactly where it should. The explosion is contained. A brief shift in the air, a soft disruption, then stillness again. Danny turns the wheel slightly. The Jeep responds instantly, not sharply, but smoothly, as if it's gliding. He understands it now, not like before, not through a controller, but directly. Movement is no longer something he commands, it's something he feels. The Jeep passes over the last stretch of sand and reaches the start of the path. The ground changes beneath them, more solid now, more defined. Ahead, the world begins to narrow. Trees, structures, shapes forming slowly in the distance. The mission is beginning, but it doesn't feel like a mission. It feels like continuation, like something that was already in motion, long before he noticed it. Danny keeps his hands on the wheel. Tommy keeps his aim steady. Max watches the path ahead, ready but calm. The Jeep moves forward, not fast, not slow, just enough. As the shoreline fades behind them and the quiet path opens ahead, the engine hum continues, steady, unchanged, and somewhere far away, in a quiet room, a television is still glowing, but here, inside the movement, inside the soft rhythm of the engine. The game is no longer being played. It is simply happening. The shoreline fades slowly behind them. The sand becomes firmer, more textured, more defined beneath the tires. The Jeep continues forward, not pushed, not forced, just moving. Danny keeps his hands on the wheel, lightly, without thinking about it. The path ahead begins to narrow. The open space of the beach gives way to something more structured. Low trees appear first, then thicker ones, their shapes forming a soft boundary along the sides of the path. The air changes, still warm, still calm, but quieter now, as if the world is listening. Danny looks forward. He can see them now, enemy soldiers, not rushing, not scattered, placed, standing in positions that feel intentional, as if they've always been there, waiting for the Jeep to arrive. Tommy adjusts slightly. The machine gun begins again. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm is steady, controlled, each shot spaced evenly, never rushed. The bullets move forward, soft lines through the air, finding their targets without resistance. Danny doesn't turn sharply. He guides the Jeep gently to the side, just enough to create space, not avoiding, not escaping, positioning. Max watches carefully. He doesn't throw right away. He waits for the right distance, for the right angle. Then, a small movement of his arm, the grenade lifts, up, forward, down, landing slightly ahead of the Jeep. The explosion is quiet, contained. The structure nearby shifts, then disappears. Danny slows, just slightly. He already understands. Something will appear, and it does. From where the structure stood, small figures emerge. Prisoners. They don't run wildly. They move in a straight line toward the Jeep with a calm certainty. Danny turns the wheel just a little, aligning the Jeep with their path. He doesn't rush to collect them. He lets them come. One by one, they reach the Jeep and vanish into it. No sound announces it. No message appears, but the change is there, subtle, immediate. Max notices first. He looks at his hand, then forward again. Another grenade. This one travels the same path, but something feels different. The impact is slightly stronger, slightly deeper. Danny feels it too, not as a number, not as a visible upgrade, but as a shift in weight, in effect, in certainty. The Jeep continues forward. The path curves gently. Danny follows it without effort. He no longer thinks about turning. He simply does. Another group appears ahead, this time spread out more. Tommy adjusts his aim. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm doesn't change, even when the targets do. Danny doesn't speed up. This is something he understands now. Speed is not control, and control is not force. It's timing, spacing, knowing when to move and when not to. Max raises his arm again, but pauses. The Jeep is still slightly out of range. Danny doesn't say anything. He simply lets the Jeep roll forward a little more, just enough. Max throws. The grenade arcs perfectly, landing at the center of the group. The result is quiet, but complete. The path clears again. The trees grow closer now. The light shifts slightly, filtered through leaves above. The world feels more enclosed, more focused. Danny keeps moving. The Jeep responds as if it understands him, not reacting, but anticipating. A structure appears near the edge of the path, partially hidden, easy to miss if you were moving too fast. But Danny isn't. He slows, just enough to line it up. Max doesn't hesitate this time. The grenade rises, steady, predictable. It lands. The structure dissolves. Again, the same movement. Prisoners emerge, calm, certain. Danny adjusts slightly. The Jeep aligns. They reach him, disappear, and once again, something shifts. The Jeep doesn't look different. The weapons don't change shape, but everything feels just a little more effective, a little more complete. Danny leans forward slightly, not from effort, but from awareness. He's not just moving anymore. He's understanding, not the rules, but the rhythm. The Jeep continues into the narrowing path. The beach is no longer visible, only trees now, and the quiet road ahead. Tommy keeps firing, steady, unchanging. Max watches, ready, calm. Danny guides the Jeep forward, without hesitation. The engine hum continues, soft, constant. And somewhere far behind them, something familiar fades away. Not lost, just no longer needed. The mission moves forward, and so do they. The path narrows further. The trees are no longer scattered. They stand close now, on both sides, forming a quiet corridor of green. The light softens as it passes through the leaves, breaking into smaller pieces, resting gently across the ground. Danny guides the Jeep forward. There is less space to move now, less room for wide turns, less room for mistakes. But nothing feels difficult, only more precise. Ahead, shapes begin to form. Not soldiers this time, structures, low, square, placed slightly away from the center of the path. Danny slows, not because he has to, but because he understands. These are not things to pass by. Tommy's firing slows slightly, not stopping, just becoming more selective. Tap, pause, tap. The rhythm changes. Max leans forward a little, watching the distance carefully. The Jeep rolls closer. The first structure is now clearly visible. Danny adjusts the angle just a little. He doesn't stop. Stopping would break the flow. Instead, he keeps moving slowly, holding the position. Max throws. The grenade rises, smooth, predictable, landing just beside the structure. The impact is quiet, but complete. The structure fades, and just like before, they appear, prisoners. But this time, Danny notices something different. They don't all move at once. Some hesitate, just slightly, before stepping forward, as if the world itself is slower here. Danny keeps the Jeep aligned. He doesn't chase them. He waits. One by one, they reach the Jeep, disappear, and the change happens again, subtle, but unmistakable. Max lifts another grenade. He feels it now. The weight is different, not heavier, but more certain. The path continues. More structures appear, placed at different distances, some closer to the edge, some slightly hidden behind trees. Danny notices something important. Not every structure is obvious. Some require attention. Some require intention. He slows again, just slightly. Tommy adjusts his aim toward a soldier moving near the edge. Tap, tap. The movement remains calm. Nothing is rushed. Max watches the far side. There, partially hidden, another structure, easy to miss. Danny turns the wheel gently, not directly toward it, but enough to bring it into range. Max throws. The arc is longer this time, higher. The grenade lands deeper into the trees, a quiet shift, and then the structure disappears. More prisoners emerge, this time from a place that wasn't obvious. Danny understands now. This isn't just movement, it's observation. If you move too fast, you miss them. If you don't look carefully, they stay hidden. He keeps the Jeep steady, aligned. The prisoners reach them, disappear, and once again, everything becomes just a little stronger. Not dramatically, just enough. The kind of change you only notice if you've been paying attention from the beginning. The jungle grows denser. The path curves slightly, then straightens again. More enemies appear, but they don't overwhelm. They move in patterns, predictable once you see them. Tommy continues his steady fire, never rushing, never stopping. Max times his throws between movements, not reacting, but anticipating. Danny feels it all: the spacing, the timing, the distance between one action and the next. The Jeep moves forward, always forward, never forced. Another structure appears, closer this time, almost directly in the path. Danny doesn't turn away. He stays on course. Max lifts his hand, waits just a moment longer than before, then throws. The grenade rises just enough, then drops. The structure disappears. The Jeep continues through the space it once occupied, smoothly, without interruption. More prisoners emerge, closer now. Danny barely adjusts. They reach the Jeep almost immediately, and with them, another quiet shift. Max lowers his hand. For a moment, he doesn't throw. He just watches, feeling the difference, understanding it. Danny keeps moving. The jungle is no longer unfamiliar. It feels mapped now, not in memory, but in instinct. He knows where to look, where to slow down, where to wait. The Jeep follows the path deeper inside. The beach is gone. The open space is gone. Only this remains: trees, structures, patterns, and the steady rhythm of movement. Tommy continues his quiet fire. Max prepares for the next throw. Danny guides the Jeep forward, without hesitation, without doubt. The engine hum continues, soft, unchanged, and somewhere far away, a controller rests loosely in someone's hands. But here, inside the path, inside the quiet logic of the jungle, everything is exactly where it should be. The jungle closes in even further. The path is no longer wide enough for easy movement. It bends, gently, but often. Not sharp turns, just enough to require attention. Danny keeps the Jeep steady. He doesn't react to the path. He follows it. The movement feels different now, not guided by sight alone, but by something quieter, a sense of where the path will go before it fully appears. The trees grow thicker. Their shadows stretch across the ground, soft, layered, never fully blocking the light, but shaping it. Ahead, two directions begin to form, not clearly marked, just a subtle opening to the left and a continuation forward. Danny slows, not because he's unsure, but because this moment matters. In the game, this is where players often make mistakes. They choose the obvious path. They move forward too quickly, and they miss something. Danny doesn't rush. He lets the Jeep roll just a little closer, watching, waiting. Max leans slightly to the side, looking deeper into the left path. There, a structure, barely visible, partially hidden behind the trees. Easy to miss if you weren't looking for it. Danny turns the wheel gently. The Jeep shifts toward the opening. Not sharply, just enough. Tommy adjusts his aim. Tap, tap, clearing the edge of the path. Max lifts his hand, but doesn't throw yet. The distance is not right. Danny moves forward slowly, just a little more. The structure becomes clearer, now within reach. Max throws. The grenade rises higher this time, the arc longer, deeper, more deliberate. It lands behind the trees, a quiet impact. The structure disappears, and then more prisoners, emerging from a place that almost wasn't there. Danny keeps the Jeep still, not stopping completely, just holding position. They move toward him, calm, steady, unchanged. One by one, they reach the Jeep, disappear, and the shift happens again. This time, it's clearer. The grenades feel stronger, not just slightly, noticeably. Max looks at his hand. He doesn't smile. He just understands. Danny turns the wheel again, returning to the main path. The Jeep merges back smoothly, as if it never left. The forward path continues, but now Danny sees it differently. Not as a straight line, but as a series of choices, places where things are hidden, places where patience matters, places where slowing down creates more than speed ever could. Another group of enemies appears ahead, more spread out now, positioned near structures. Tommy adjusts. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm remains unchanged, but the effect is clearer. Each shot connects, each movement precise. Danny doesn't drive directly through them. He shifts slightly to the side, creating space, allowing Max a better angle. Max throws. The grenade moves cleanly through the air, landing between two structures. The result is quiet, but efficient. Both disappear. The path opens. Prisoners emerge again, this time closer together. Danny moves forward slowly. He doesn't adjust much. They come to him naturally, as if the Jeep is exactly where it needs to be. The collection is smooth, effortless, and once again, the change builds. Not in sudden jumps, but in layers. Each rescue adding something, each decision refining the flow. The jungle deepens. The path becomes more complex. Small openings appear, then disappear again. Not everyone leads somewhere, but some do. Danny begins to understand the difference, not through memory, but through feeling. Some paths invite attention, others don't. He follows that instinct. The Jeep moves with quiet confidence, no hesitation, no wasted movement. Tommy continues his steady fire. Max waits, then throws, then waits again. Everything is spaced. Everything has timing. Nothing overlaps. Nothing rushes. The engine hum remains constant, soft, unchanging, almost like breathing. Danny leans forward slightly, not out of effort, but focus. He is no longer just moving through the stage. He is reading it, understanding where things are before they fully appear. Another hidden structure reveals itself just at the edge of his vision. He turns, aligns. Max throws, and the pattern continues. Calm, precise, endless. The Jeep moves deeper into the jungle. The outside world feels farther away now, less defined, less important. Only this remains, the path, the rhythm, the quiet logic of movement, and Danny at the center of it, guiding forward without thinking, without doubt. As the mission continues, deeper and deeper still,